Good to have you with us today on Travel Michigan. I'm Dave Lorenz along with Michelle Grinnell. Michelle, where are we headed to?
We're kind of headed a little bit of everywhere, and we're headed there by bike. We are talking with Patricia Trujan, who is the event director at Dalmac, which is happening this year, August 27th through the 31st. So my first burning question, Patricia, is what does Dalmac stand for?
It is Dick Allen Lansing to Mackinaw Bicycle Tour. Dick Allen, it originated in 1971, and he was a state senator. And he and 7 or 8 of his close friends decided they would try riding from Lansing to Mackinac, and because there was a debate going on between some of the politicians as to whether bicycles would be a good means of transportation. So that's originally how it started.
Well, I think that debate's been finally settled. You can see all the trails, bike trails, being built all throughout the state. It's really cool to see as a bicyclist. And just to think that they were still kind of debating that back in the early 70s, kind of surprising to me.
Yes, it is. It was, but they did it, and it started growing, and we've had a tour. That time, like I said, there were 7 or 8 people, and our latest count, I checked this morning, is 1,693 riders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's great, and that's distributed between 4 different routes.
Well, it's certainly a long ride, from that East Lansing area, from MSU all the way up to the tip of the Mitt. How do people, plan this out? Do they plan to stay in hotels? Do they tent camp? How does this work?
Normally, we have our registration. It's all online now, and it starts, we've always used February the 14th, and anyone can go online. They go to our, Tri-County Biking Association is our club, and then go online. They will find the registration there. They can sign up for any of the routes. Most of the people, we accommodate them with the cost of the ride being anywhere from $200 to $215, and that gives them, we carry their baggage, we give them route maps, and then we have our food and facilities team takes care of the getting the schools that we stay at. We get a shower, a place to pitch our tent, and we feed them. And it's that's pretty much it. And you have a choice, like I said, of 4 different routes that you can sign up for.
Dave mentioned it starts in East Lansing and ends up in Mackinac. What are some of the other communities that the tour goes through, or what are the 4 different routes that folks can take?
Okay. The one route we changed this year, it used to be done in 4 days, and we stretched it out to 5 days. It's called a 5-day East. And we did that to encourage families to come, made the days shorter as far as mileage. That one is 295, and starts on Wednesday, and we end up on Sunday at the bridge. And this one will cross the bridge, and we'd stay in Ithaca, Harrison, Grayling, Inland Lake School by Indian River, and LaSalle High School is where we would end up. And then we have buses that big coach buses that our riders get on, and they come back home, or family or friends will pick them up and bring them home. And their bikes are loaded into trucks, the trucks that we carried their luggage on. So it's a orchestrated deal, and it just amazes me at the work that goes into this and how well it works.
Yeah, I was just thinking, after you take that 4 or 5 day ride, you probably don't feel like taking the same 4 or 5 day ride back. So you take buses back. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we do have buses, and like I said, families sometimes ride out and get their friends that are riders.
Are these 4 day or these 4 different routes? Do they generally kind of stick to the center of the state, or do some of them go far to the east or the west?
The one that I just described goes right up the center, and then The other two are also 5-day routes, and those are one goes to it's Vestaburg, Maine, Elk Rapids, Petoskey, and then we end up at Mackinaw City at the high school, and then we have a 5-day UP that goes. It's over to the left of center of the state, and then the 4-day west goes more to the west, and that's just a 4-day ride. That one can go. These rides can go anywhere from $295 a week as far as mileage, and up to $400. The west, we have alternate routes for those who like to do 100-mile centuries.
Patricia, do you have recommendations for folks who may be interested in terms of training, in terms of what to bring, how to prepare for this sort of an event?
Yep. As a matter of fact, I just presented a meeting. We have a club meeting the last Thursday of the month, and I went through that with, I had put a notice in we have a monthly newspaper, and I put information in there. We have a lady in our group that takes care of social media, and she has put information out. Plus, everything I talked about will be online so that people that are not sure, like I had one of our ladies that did the packing, showed them how to pack in Ziploc bags in case, it rains or something.
Yeah.
Clothing will be dry. And then had a fellow talk about what the typical Dalmac day is.
Well, and you mentioned one of the routes involves the centuries, the daily century rides, which, if I remember right, that's 100 miles per day, right?
Correct. That's the 4-day west.
Assumed, yeah.
And it's like that one goes to Vestaburg, Lake City, Boyne City, and then in Mackinac. And that, on an average, those, if they don't opt for the century, they'll be riding anywhere from 70 miles to 90-something.
Well, and with 1,500 riders, I'm sure that you try to stick to country roads most of the time with these routes?
These are secondary roads, yes, and that's something that we also do is we travel the roads to make sure that there's no construction. So that, and if we do, we have backup plans to get people where they need to be. And so we've just completed that, going over the routes, making sure that our riders can ride the roads in the map books that we give them.
Well, Patricia, the good thing about this is it's not a race. So it's a tour, it's a ride, so people can literally just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the, the friendships that are made on these rides, and it's all about that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There's in our demographics, there's a statement here you just hit on. It's a recreational tour, not an endurance contest.
Yeah.
And it's open to all capable, interested bicyclists. And we normally would start in springtime. Once we sign up, and once the weather breaks, we start riding, a little bit each day, and then just increasing it.
Can you still sign up for the race or the tour this year? Yeah.
It was the end of July.
Yeah. So if you want to do it next year, make sure to kind of go early and sign up. And here's the website, by the way. You want to go to this website, dalmac.org. That is spelled DALMAC.org. And sign up early, maybe in February next year for next year's run. This year's, you might see a bunch of bikes, August 27th through the 31st, from East Lansing to Mackinac. I want to thank Patricia Druchin for the information on this year's Dalmac Tour. Lots of events, of course, all throughout the state. Michelle will tell us about some of those.
Absolutely. We've got breakfast on the farm at Uphouse Farms in the Manchester area. Get a free breakfast and learn about all the food that you eat while you do it. Beer Fest at the ballpark. Cooley Law School Stadium is hosting this Fall Beer Festival on September 12th. More than 50 Michigan breweries will be attending. The Great War on the Great Lakes is happening up in Paradise at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum in Whitefish Point Lake Station, also on September 12th. Bruce Lynn, the executive director of the museum, will guide museum guests through the Great War on the lakes. Lake St. Clair Metro Park is hosting a boating and outdoor festival September 11th through the 14th. And we've got the 35th annual NSRA Street Rod Nationals North Plus event happening September 12th through the 14th in Kalamazoo with more than 2,600 street rods, muscle cars, custom and specialty vehicles, all 30 years old and older. Grand Haven hosts Salmon Festival September 12th through the 14th. And we've got the Dirty Dash in Mount Boris on September 13th. And last but not least, the Kindy. How is that?
What is it?
It's a polka festival.
What, really? What is it called?
It's in Kindy, Michigan.
Okay. Yeah.
September 13th through the 14th. So go to Michigan.org, check it out. There's lots happening all over the state.
Absolutely, all the time. And in fact, there's some cool workshops, folk workshops we're going to tell you about next right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.